how to get on the Florida Medicaid waiver waitlist. And I'm going to also talk about why you might want to speak to an attorney before you go through that process. But let's talk about this in general. So first, Medicaid waiver, as you may or may not know, is one particular type of Medicaid program. There are many different types of Medicaid in Florida. Medicaid waiver is for people who are interested in help paying for care at home or help paying for care in an assisted living facility. Okay? There's people may not need that. If you don't need that, Medicaid waiver is not for you. But if you're interested in home health care or you're interested in assisted living facility care, Medicaid waiver program is what you're going to be looking for. However, this benefit in particular is not available immediately, meaning even if you're qualified today, right? Even if you meet the asset and income requirements, you can't just submit an application. You have to participate on a wait list first. So how do you do that? Well, I want to caution you before you start that process. First of all, if you have assets or if you have income above the required amounts, that it would be very worth your time to speak to a Florida elder law attorney who focuses on Medicaid planning first. There's a few reasons for that. The first is what Medicaid planning attorneys are able to do is legally and ethically protect your assets to get you qualified for these programs that you may not currently naturally qualify for. The second thing is we're going to get into once you're on the wait list. I remember it was just a couple months ago, I was at an event and I was talking to someone who works with one of the agencies that manage the wait list. And I was asking, what's the average amount of time people spend on the wait list? And he kind of laughed at me. He goes, we are chronically underfunded, we're chronically short-staffed, and people are waiting somewhere between 9 and 14 months on average, okay? Something that an elder law attorney, if they are experienced and they work in the Medicaid waiver world the way we do, what they're able to do is legally and ethically reduce the amount of time that you spend on the wait list significantly, which is why I wanted to tell you before you rush to go put yourself on the wait list, you may want to talk to a lawyer first if you don't want to wait as long as you normally might. Here's why. So in order to get on, there's multiple agencies involved in this Medicaid waiver process. The first agency that you're going to have to deal with is typically called an Area Agency on Aging or an Aging and Disability Resource Center. Every county in Florida is assigned an Area Agency on Aging or an Aging and Disability Resource Center, and sometimes they go by different names. Elder Source, Alliance for Aging, depending on what region you're in. Very easy to Google your county and Area Agency for Aging or Aging and Disability Resource Center, and it'll pop right up. What you're going to do if you want to get yourself on the wait list is you call the number that you find and you're going to explain to whoever picks up the phone that you'd like to schedule a Medicaid waiver waitlist screening. Okay, so you're not going to get your screening done the moment you call. They're going to have someone call you back. They're going to get some basic information like name, social security, date of birth, age, some basic information about why they need care, like what are like diagnoses and things like that. Very basic stuff. But what happens is they then set up a screening, which is going to be at a future date. Typically, it's a couple weeks after you make the initial call, or I should say, when you make the initial call, they will schedule time to call you to schedule the screening, okay? So it can take some time from that initial call to get to the point where you have that screening. Now, here's the thing. The screening process probably takes somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour. And the questions they're not always logical, meaning sometimes people answer the questions in a way that they think is going to help them and it really hurts them. And that's where an experienced elder law attorney can come into play, because what we're able to do, again, it's legally and ethically helping you understand you or your loved one's condition to answer the questions truthfully, but in a way that's going to help your loved one reduce the amount of time they spend on that waitlist. And again, the way you're supposed to answer isn't always obvious. I want to emphasize, we're not making things up. We're never lying to the government, but again, they're not logical or rational always. And sometimes I hate to say it, the screeners who are asking you questions are asking things they're not supposed to ask you. So we would like to go through that stuff too. So sometimes they ask you these questions that they're really not allowed to, and based on your answer, they're saying, well, you're not ready to go on the wait list. So having the right advocate by your side during this whole process can reduce the amount of time you spend on that wait list. That saves you a lot of money, because the shorter amount of time frame in which we can get you on these benefits, the less is draining from the bank account, right? And then even if you're not qualified, we can help stretch your dollar. What I mean by that is, we may not be able to eliminate all of your you or your loved one's long-term care expenses, but if we can get the government assisting with a large portion, well, now whatever you do have, whatever we've been able to protect, can go a lot further in getting you more care. Most of my clients want to stay at home for as long as possible. So the longer we can stretch their dollar out, the better it's going to be for them. A lot of people, people don't want to go into a nursing home until they absolutely have to, and our goal is to help you accomplish that goal efficiently, saving as much money as possible and getting you as much help from the government as you are legally entitled to get. We do this you don't have to wait 5 years. You don't have to sell your house unless you want to, there's more planning involved. You don't have to go broke first, okay? So if you'd like to talk more about the Medicaid waiver program anywhere in the state of Florida, reducing the amount of time you spend on that wait list, getting you those benefits sooner, please set up a consultation today. Thank you.